Okay, would you believe that we're back for episode 46? This is the beginning of the 10th week. Welcome to Simply Terrified. Here's another awesome episode. Okay, be sure to like, subscribe, share, all that fun stuff. You can watch it, you can listen to it, you can do both. I mean, it is what it is. We've been around for well over 2 months now. Fully stocked library. We've got long videos, we've got short videos, we got all kinds of things. I keep saying we, even though we. Okay, let's get into it though. Today, episode 46, we are getting into something that is just kind of like needs to be said, especially for a lot of the people who have a hard time doing this. So, this episode is all about you can say no. Now, some people might hear that and be like, I say no all the fucking time. It's not hard. No. You want to do something? No. You want to go somewhere? No. But there are the other people who just, whenever it comes to somebody wanting something, needing help, something, they go to this person because they just know, whether it's just a faultless loyalty or just this need to be this heroic somebody. I don't know exactly what it is because I am someone who has to say no sometimes. And these people are just like, yes. Do you need help? Yes. I'm moving this weekend. Can you help me? Yes. Do you want to work here? Yes. Yes. You can say no though. And I don't know if it's like a fear of letting people down or just like they never had somebody to help so much and so they're trying to make up for that by being that person that they never had. Whatever it is, we're going to jump into it because I know so many people who just do not like to say no. And here's the thing. They will agree to something and then just be like, oh, why did I do that? Why did I do that to myself? Why? I mean, I don't know why. You did it though. So like by agreeing, it's kind of like you're forfeiting what you're really feeling because you just don't want to let someone down. That's what I think. Like in that moment, you have to decide, especially if it's someone who frequently asks for stuff. If it's someone who frequently needs you, then it's like a pattern. Now, if they need, oh yeah, hey, this person. Oh hey, yeah, they never say no. And then you become that built-in expectation. It's not just like a favor anymore. It's like an expected role. And that can get exhausting because let's face it, you can be the nice guy, you can be the helpful person and all this stuff, but like, when does it get to be too fucking much? Okay, so let's go in. So acknowledging that no is an option is the first step towards setting healthy boundaries, whether in personal relationships, the workplace, or childhood safety. Seems pretty basic, right? Let's go even farther. The importance of saying no. Learning to say no is an essential skill for protecting your time and mental health. Abso-fucking-lutely it is. It prevents burnout. Constantly saying yes leads to feeling overextended, resentful, and losing autonomy. The resentful thing is real, okay? I have had experience where somebody asked me for something and it's like, okay, I do whatever I can, right? And then if a couple days or a couple weeks goes by and then the same person's asked me for the same thing, it's like, okay, all right. But everyone has a point, I think, where it's just like, what is happening? Like, why am I like this fall guy, this automatic, you automatically think of me. So I don't know, resentful stuff, especially when it's a one-sided situation. So like, if someone constantly asks you for favors, constantly, and you are always there for this person, you are rock solid, all this stuff, and then all of a sudden you need something, God forbid, but you need something. And so you're like, okay, well this person asks me this all the time, I'm always there for them, so like you assume that you're good to go to that person and you're going to get a mirror effect, right? Like you've helped them so much, so there you go. And then when it doesn't happen, it's like, what the fuck? Even if it's just for a second. Like, they may not be able to help you exactly how you need, but, like, it crosses your mind of, like, how can I be the one to, like, give and do and help, and then you're just telling me no? Like, what? So anyway, that's the resentful part, I guess. So, all right, defining boundaries. A clear no honors your limits and makes your yes more meaningful to others. So, If you're not somebody who just lays down and lets people walk all over them all the time, then okay. Like, yeah, you're a person, you value your time, your mental, everything. Like, I get it. You're not someone who's going to be used and abused and stepped on and taken for granted. All right, that's fair. That's totally healthy, totally should be done, period. Opportunity cost. Every yes to a low priority task is an implicit no to something you truly value, like family or personal rest. Okay, so for example, my guess here, let's say you're helping somebody box up all their shit and take it to Goodwill because you have a vehicle that will do more than they do. Okay, well, you saying yes to that, it's not like it's hard. It's not like it'll take forever, but you're choosing to give time that you could be allotting to someone or something else to this favor. There's nothing wrong with that. But every time you say yes, you're doing that. So when you start to realize how many times you're saying yes, how many instances you're giving that chunk of yourself, your time, your energy, all of this, like, is it being well spent? Or are you just kind of freely giving it out to people who don't really deserve it, leaving the people who do deserve it kind of like, yeah, on there. So, okay. How to say no politely. Because some people, manners are a big deal and they don't want to be seen as rude or offensive or any kind of other thing. Sometimes they just don't know how to say it. Like, they just really don't want to be that person. They don't want to take the chance in being that person's bad moment in the day. Or possibly ruining someone's whole day. They don't want to be responsible for that. So it's easier to just be like, oh, I don't want to do this, but yes. So here's how to say no politely. Because again, it is okay and it's very important to say no sometimes. Stand your ground. Don't be the rug. Here we go. If you find the word itself difficult to use, try these professional or soft alternatives. Okay, so professional. At the moment, I'm focused on other priorities. Or, this falls outside of my current scope. That kind of sounds like you're talking to a computer, but okay, we get it. We'll move on. Social. I'd love to help, but I'm at my capacity right now. Okay, well, I mean, you could like humanize that a little. Make it more your speak, but you get the gist. Or, sadly, I have something else going on. Like, I would love to help you box up your stuff, but I'm taking my kids to the skate park. Or we're going, to see my grandma. Or blah, blah, blah. Even if you have to fabricate a story as to why you're saying no, even that's okay sometimes. Because you're choosing how you spend your time, how you divvy it, who you give it to, and why. Okay? So, the no reason. No. You don't always owe a long explanation. Period. If you don't want to do something, you can say no. Or no thank you, or I've got other plans. You keep it simple, vague. You don't need a full backstory as to why you can't be this someone's like in the moment savior. That's totally fine. You don't owe something like that to somebody who's asking for a favor all the time, because in the grand scheme of things, you're not the only person. You might be the most convenient person for this person, but chances are you're not the only one, and they will figure it out. Like, everything is figure-outable, so everything will work out, And you don't have to feel bad, right? That's another affliction that some people have, is when they do say no, they turn around and they think, okay, yeah, I did this for myself. Then, however much time goes by, they feel bad that they didn't help. Don't feel bad, okay? You're not going to say no for everything. And I'm not saying that. I'm not saying, like, you should definitely just tell everyone to fuck themselves every time they ask you for a favor. That's not right either, But definitely understand that there's a balance between what you should give, what you can give, and what you want to give, right? And you have to kind of divvy that out. You don't have to drive yourself insane being everyone else's everything all the time, okay? So you're not like the world's mother, for God's sake. So here you go. There are books and other things and tapes and stuff to listen to, because again, this is a struggle that a lot of people have issue with, but as long as you understand that you can say no guilt-free, that's the big takeaway. That's the biggest takeaway. Now, I know that a lot of people can take things really personal, okay? And I have known people to ask and then be told no, and then they immediately have like this guilt response. And they really try to hook and just really try to reel you in. Don't fall for that shit. Like, that's just part of how they operate to get shit that they want. Because again, for all the people who don't like to say no, all of those people will hear a sob story or hear that kind of hook and just be like, oh God, this is my fault. Oh, blah, 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 blah. No. You have to learn to be able to just kind of separate the nonsense and just stand on your own 2 feet, stand up for yourself. You know, just if you feel like saying no, the gut feeling, right? The gut. If your gut tells you, you know what, that's not a good idea. You did this last week, like you've already helped this person, you've already done this, like you want a day of rest, that's another thing. If you plan, if you're someone who actually gives yourself, like in your mental mind, a day of rest, because not many of those exist, okay? Let's be honest. But if you already plan to do nothing, even if you have nothing going on, nothing is sacred sometimes. So don't let some asswad call you up and be like, hey, I know you're not doing anything today, so do you want to like help me? Blah, 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 blah. You can say no, even if you're not doing a goddamn thing. Say no, if that's what you want to say. If you want to say yes and forfeit that time and, you know, whatever, that's on you. But you can't be mad about it, right? So for all the people who keep saying yes, even after watching this episode, to know that it's okay to say no. If you keep saying yes to everybody, that's fine. Like if that's how you want to be, that's fine. But you can't complain about it because you're doing it to yourself, okay? So you are in charge of your schedule and a lot of your sanity. A lot of your choices and stuff contribute to your day and your mood and everything else. So just remember that every time you say yes to somebody, even if it's something really, really small, you're choosing to give that energy and that time and whatever else to that person, to that project, to that thing. Okay, so just remember, you are in control. You can absolutely say no. So with that, we're going to reel it in. I think we got the message. N-O, totally okay. N-O is okay to say, have a great day. We'll just call it there. Thanks for listening, and we will see you next time. No, we won't. Yes, we will. Yes, we will.